Good morning, everyone. This is Steve Whitehill, substituting for Howard. Welcome to our restaurant networking group, everybody, and welcome. Jeff, good morning. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do? And you have a presentation today, so I'll let you go forth and take that over.
Sure. I guess just to clarify, Steve, we'll do intros and then probably I can present right after that.
Okay, we can.
Really work well.
That sounds.
So yeah, good morning, everyone. Jeff Scott with Food Service Pride Consulting, offering management consulting to college and university dining programs, restaurant companies, hospitality companies. Based in Atlanta, Georgia. You can reach me at jscott@foodservicepride.com. Thank you.
Sounds great. Brian, if you'll unmute yourself, and what do you do?
I guess you meant me on that one. So Brian Auerbach with
I didn't hear you. Sorry about that. I keep on forgetting there are two of you. So,
yeah, I saw the other Brian was already unmuted, so I'll just go. But Brian Auerbach with InfoSync Business Process Solutions. So we're an outsourcer of accounting and payroll. We help multi-unit restaurants find accounting and payroll frustrating. We provide the people, process, technology for both your accounting and payroll services, so you can focus on running your business. So my name is Brian Auerbach with InfoSync, and I can be reached at 786-670-1027 or Brian, BRIN, .Auerbach, AUERBACH at ISSVC.com.
thank you, Brian. And the other Brian, would you like to introduce yourself?
Good morning, Brian with Rogue Financial Group. We are a commercial equipment financing company. I primarily work in the hospitality industry, convenience stores, breweries, bars, things like that. And what we do is, from small to large projects, we will do commercial financing for clients that are looking for financing. I do a lot of work with vendors that bring me referrals. Brian with a Rogue Financial Group, 404-723-7222.
And Charles.
My name's Charles Hay. I own On the Fly Food Safety. We're based out of Jacksonville, but we serve all of Florida. If you need me, we'll come to you on the fly.
And what is
go ahead.
I was going to say, what does food safety do? What do you do?
Well, we primarily teach the Serve Safe Manager course, and we'll do mock health inspections as well. And if they have any problems in that area, I'll help them figure out a solution. Cool. Whether breaking bad habits or, finding proper sanitizer or whatever they need.
Cool. And how do people get a hold of you?
You can reach me at 904-923-2577 or email at info@ontheflyfoodsafety. And I went on the phone number a little too fast. 904-923-2577.
Thank you. Chris Kaufman, good morning. Take yourself off of mute, please. You're on mute. Chris, we can't hear you. You're on mute. Ask to unmute. Let's see if that works. Good morning, Chris. Here we are.
Good morning. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. The question is, do we want to?
Okay. Well, if you know what's good for you, you do want to hear from it. Okay.
Exactly.
Just don't start your own car tomorrow morning, Steve. I'm just saying. Right here from Vidalia, Georgia. I have been in the dark since 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon when the power went out. So I'm at a friend's house today who's been generous enough to avail the house to me to make this phone call this morning. And we provide all-star talent for restaurant companies looking to increase their human capital. We provide solutions when it comes to enhancing the management team, whether it's be a corporate situation or inside the four walls situation, or even like an area director scenario. And we work on behalf of the client companies, always have since doing this wonderful business since Monday, April 6th, 1981. Therefore, we've met a few people, and we can bring a world of experience in terms of how to find the right person at the right time. And we work on behalf of the client companies. Chris Kaufman, Restaurant All Stars, conveniently reached at 404 All Star, 404-255-7827. Just ask for Chris. Thank you very much.
What's the most interesting placement you've done recently, or what's your favorite kind of thing?
My favorite kind of thing is to have a solid working relationship with the hiring company, collaboratively working with the hiring company. And most recently was the general manager position in a seafood restaurant, working directly with the owner to find exactly who he wanted to hire. And we brought him a talented player who fit the profile. And it was just exciting because the candidate was very cooperative. The client company was very cooperative, and that made for a wonderful working relationship. And that's the whole thing. If the relationship is solid, that's my favorite. That's my favorite type of placement. And so,
thank you. And I guess
Yep.
that puts me up last. I'm Steve Whitehill with Anchor Business Brokers. I help people buy and sell businesses, all sorts, restaurants and gas stations and auto repair shops, and just you name it. I help people sell it, and succeed. In essence, I help people live the life they want, because if they're buying a business, they're gonna live well. They're selling it, they're gonna take the money and live well with that. So hopefully we can do a great service for them. I can be reached at 561-376-7500, and my email address is Steve, Steve at Anchor, ANCHOR, B as in boy, B as in boy.com. And I thank everybody. And Jeff, that brings us up to you again. And would you like to do your presentation now?
Yes, thanks, Steve. I'm going to try to share my screen here, so
I'm gonna
bear
have-
with me 1 second.
So hang in there while I do that. Okay, you should be, hopefully you can do it, so try it.
Okay, we'll try it here. The moment it's saying host disabled, so maybe
let's see if
try
I can-
clicking it again.
Well, let me, okay, there we are. That should do it. Try now.
Okay, yes. Okay, so yeah, just a little intro slide here. As I mentioned in my previous intro, I offer food service management consulting to college and university dining programs, restaurant companies, hospitality companies. Certainly try to always tailor services to really meet the current challenges, issues, opportunities of a business, and bring 30 plus years of operational management experience myself to this consulting role. And so very excited to always meet new clients and to really help them take problems to solutions to help their businesses thrive. Certainly we can work on business strategy, marketing research, benchmarking, developing programs, certainly leveraging best practices. And certainly if an organization is going through a transition of leadership, offer fractional management solutions, either to step in and actually lead, or perhaps to provide the leadership needed for some key initiatives due to the scope of that work. These are a couple of the, I guess, categories, if you will, to really help unlock the full potential of organizations. And, I really try to take an approach of assessing the level of pride of a business and, both internally and then looking out to the customers and different stakeholders of an organization. And we're going to want to maximize partnerships, obviously operating results, innovation, development of programs and people, and move on a path towards getting a team that's empowered to be successful and to do their best work. I think the name of the game today is really helping organizations to move on a path to becoming a preferred employer. As we all know, most hospitality companies are nothing without their biggest assets being their staff, their people. And we want to help position companies to really recruit aggressively and retain good talent as well. Certainly, another key aspect in operations is efficiency. It takes a lot of work to operate a food service or restaurant companies, and we want to do it efficiently certainly for the experience of the guests, but also for the experience of the staff. Are things well organized, and can people do their best work? Certainly want to always keep a pulse on the guest experience and help organizations really maximize their profitability potential. In some cases, it's taking a look at the concept as a whole, or perhaps maybe day part concepts, or if the company or the department maybe hasn't advanced in other services like takeout or catering or other ways to serve guests, certainly, or perhaps they're in need of a refresh and really just a more on-trend concept. We can get into the nuts and bolts of menu engineering. Again, really setting up the operation for excellence and efficiency, and certainly can support that customer engagement scenario. Certainly we want customers to know what we're offering, any specials, any deals, new menu items, and certainly to always keep your restaurant or your organization top of mind, and that's where marketing and branding comes in. And then, certainly, I think most companies, most organizations, and certainly many restaurant and food organizations are highly engaged in sustainable practices for the health of their business, for the health of the earth. And it's always good to look at ways to integrate partners, align with initiatives that are out in the community. Tell your story, what you're doing to reduce waste or recycle, reduce energy, reduce your footprint, reduce your food miles by leveraging more local and regional suppliers and growers, producers. So there's always great opportunities with sustainability. And I learned this many years ago. It's as you can reduce waste, you can reduce costs, and that could be a great way to sometimes offset some of your enhancements in other aspects of your business that will require some additional funding, like technology or increase in marketing spend, as an example. But certainly want to support clients with the most recent technology to be efficient, make it easy to operate the business, and certainly make it easy for your guests to know what's going on and to purchase online. And again, really kind of positioning the organization for growth. I think, you certainly can't have every tool in the trick as a consultant that somebody could possibly need. And I'm building a kind of a slate of business partners to really complement kind of traditional consulting with solutions around some key aspects. And workplace wellness is a great place. If you don't have that in place, I do have a solution that I would highly recommend, Kelly's Choice. And I will bring up a little info slide from that organization in a second. And then also workforce training solutions. I think when employees talk about what they're struggling with or maybe dissatisfied in an organization, two things often come up: communication and lack of training. And out of fairness to managers or business owners, when you're short-staffed, it is tough to have the time, the energy, really to provide optimal training. So the Pineapple Academy is a great resource that provides video training. Folks can access it from their cell phones, and each training session is 5 minutes or less. So we're kind of in this soundbite, quick reel mentality with a lot of content and media that we're used to enjoying or using to follow sports news, etc. And so this organization has proven that if you can really break down your training sessions into kind of micro training sessions, you increase the retention. And the other great thing about that type of approach is folks can certainly log back in, review at their own timing. And but certainly with a company like Pineapple Academy, they can provide content, use existing content that you have, also help create content, and sync this training, all of this sequence, into a labor management system as well for tracking. Or the Pineapple Academy has solutions for there. So I'll just bring up the next slide. And again, what's kind of neat about this organization is right up from the owner, who was a former chef. This was built by operators for operators. So they really, if it's how to mop a floor, clean an oven, just as two examples. What's also kind of neat about it is they have the experience to do it. They've got very tight, concise messages. But you could put a QR code right on that oven or right in a communication area, maybe near the mop sink, and you could encourage folks to take a quick snapshot, pull up the video if maybe they forgot the training. So it just reinforces best practices that you're trying to demonstrate. And this can also just be a great way to onboard staff. I think certainly hiring folks is mission critical, but making those first couple of days, that first couple of weeks, a welcoming experience, and one where folks can learn the skills and the correct procedures that they need to do, the more that we can present this information to them in a way that they're ready to receive it, increases the success of that employee staying on and becoming productive and comfortable and feeling supported in their role. And then Kelly's Choice, again, there's some great advantages with this program. They can provide individual staff with an online, interface with this wellness platform, and get a whole range of scenarios that they can be working on. It may be nutrition, it may be exercise, it may be things again to support some conditions or health situations that need some work. They can bring a dietitian on site. Dietitian for the Day is the program, and it's a great way to, again, complement somebody's experience or information in a portal. It's called Healthy, and really ask questions live and kind of get that inspiration directly from a dietitian. But there's so many studies that have really shown that, again, if you're investing and providing a solution like this to your employees, they're going to miss less days of work. They're going to be more productive. They're going to certainly feel like the organization, is looking out for their well-being, caring for them. So there's a lot of positives there, and there's information that shows as the employer, you almost get a 3-to-1 return for every dollar you spend for workplace wellness programs. So there's some good economic reasons to do it as well. So certainly for the folks in this networking call, you can circle back. Howard will email this out to everybody. But certainly I can be reached again to discuss any of these programs and any of the consulting services I provide. My number is 607-280-8689, jscott@foodservicepride.com. I welcome any questions or feedback.
I have a question. Can you give us an example, without violating any confidences, of course, of restaurants that you've employed and what you've done?
Yeah, so I think an example would be a restaurant with a new general manager, and again, stepping in and looking at the pattern of work of that general manager. And, you know, certainly there's a job description, but then how you and at what frequency engage in all of these duties and activities in a way that it's serving the needs of the business owner, it's serving the needs of the staff, it's keeping a connection and a pulse with the guest. It is an example of really a management consulting solution to really take a well-qualified general manager and kind of give them an individual playbook that they can follow, be supported, reinforced on some of those really important duties of the role, and give them feedback also. Not wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks for somebody to sit that person down and go, hey, you're missing the boat here, here, and here. Really to try to give them feedback, as frequently as the engagement allows, and really from more of a neutral party as well, somebody who's almost as a coach. So that there's an example, Steve.
Okay, and you get called in because the owner feels something is wrong, or what circumstances?
Yeah, certainly there can be challenges where maybe a manager is, again, struggling in the role, or maybe has been transitioned to a new site, within that restaurant company, and again, trying to set that person up for success. Certainly there can be a situation where maybe in-house training or in-house coaching, counseling of somebody has not hit the desired result. And again, working with, another coach or another resource that might be able to, again, approach it from a different angle. Again, you've already invested time and energy into this member of your team. You don't really want to see them go, but you need them to improve their performance.
I hear you. And this may sound odd. Do you have a recent success or success story you'd like to share that sort of proves the point?
Yes, I think I can think of a marketing manager, for instance, who really in a campus dining situation had great skills with digital marketing, okay, but honestly was missing the opportunity to explain, communicate, seek input from the rest of the operations team, both front of house, culinary, leadership, missing the opportunity a little bit to even properly poll and get feedback from customers, from students. And so was kind of going to market too fast with some tactics that were good, but just not vetted properly, and getting low response, getting low satisfaction, or both from the impact for the business, but also from acknowledgement from the community. And so again, taking somebody with a good foundation, updating their playbook, updating their pattern of work in a way to be more inclusive and to produce much better results.
Well, thank you. Anyone else
Of
have
course.
questions? I've been dominating this conversation.
Yeah, hey Jeff, it's Brian. But kind of what you're talking about, creating an experience, like for instance, and like my kid went to Kennesaw State, so I think we talked about it. The food service there is I think it's pretty good. My kid was there; she seemed to like it. But I mean, as far as time has changed, I went to Valdosta State. So did Chris. Did also. I mean, they were there just to give you fried chicken spaghetti, meatballs, whatever. But now, you know, things have changed. Now they're giving these kids a lot of choices and a better experience. So I guess if you, you know, create an environment that people want to work in, then you create a better environment for these, I guess, young adults to like the place and then continue to come back, or instead of bashing the place, you know, the food hall. So, but like I said, I think that, you know, at the end of the day, I guess it's just, you know, it all sends back to the employees, you know, wanting them to perform and create a good environment for especially young kids, you know, young adults that come there and you get good feedback on that.
You know, you touched on some great aspects there, Brian. You know, I don't know about everybody on this call today, but I didn't grow up on restaurant food, and a lot of young consumers, certainly at the college age or out in eateries, restaurants, food halls now, have grown up on restaurant food. That may be takeout restaurant food, but you know, think about that statement even for a minute. You know, I grew up, mom made one meal. She'd always say, "I'm not running a restaurant here."
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of families when they get together, um, people might even order from different delivery agencies, or somebody nicely packages food from multiple restaurants, or from one individual restaurant, a
Yeah.
whole slate of things. And so I think, you know, there's this term that I think many consumers have global expectations or global inspirations for what they're looking for
Yeah.
on the international landscape of food, but looking for local connections too. And I think
Yeah.
it's back to the operator, the management company, the
Mhm.
chefs, the
Yeah.
restaurateurs. You know, you really have to tell your story. You have to work hard to tell
Yeah.
your story. You want to also engage your customers, your guests, in a way that that becomes an additional story, right, for marketing and communication purposes. But it keeps that pulse on how
Yeah.
relevant you are with current needs that, of course, are ever changing and
Mhm.
evolving. So
Yeah.
it's an exciting time to be in the food business, but it's perhaps a little more demanding than a
Mhm.
generation ago as far as expectations of folks. And of course, the cost of dining out in restaurants, we all
Yeah.
know, it's gone up astronomically. So it's an ongoing process.
Well, you know, like a prime example of an experience, it was, I think, Saturday night, last Saturday, we went to this place in Punta Gorda with my mother-in-law, and she insisted on paying for dinner for everybody. So the experience was great up until when she went to pay. So I don't know if this guy was in the weeds. I always watch and wanted to see what's going on. And I thought he was handling everything, his tables, everything. Come to find out, this guy, I don't know if he lost it or not, but he charged her credit card on two other bills. He
Oh,
got
wow.
all flustered and it took almost a half an hour to get this resolved, reverse the charges, and finally get her taken care of. So I don't know if the money was put back to my mother-in-law's account. So I don't know, but like I said, you're having a good experience and all of a sudden turns into a bad experience because the server charges the credit card on two or three other tickets. So,
You know,
but
you're
yeah,
touching on an important theme. I remember being a waiter many years ago, and you know, you worked really hard to take care of the guests, serve their food properly, keep them happy. And you know, if it took you a few extra minutes to run across the restaurant to print out that guest check and all the way back to get a credit card or make change, you know, you're
yeah,
just adding time and aggravation, right, to somebody at the end of the meal
yeah.
experience. And I think most of us probably now have become accustomed to paying right at the table. You know, whether that be
Mhm.
you know, some type of kiosk that's there, a screen that pops up, a tablet that's on the table, or certainly you know, many more servers are equipped with some type of device, right, to take your credit card right at the table to avoid some of these delays, certainly. And if there is any type of error, correct it immediately and own it. So that's certainly, when you're working for tips, the last thing you want to do is delay folks, or make it frustrating to pay, or question the accuracy of it.
Yeah.
The flip side too, if you're the business owner, wow, you want to eliminate as much of that drama or frustration for your customers as you can. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, even I guess the manager stepped in and she lost it too. I'm like, okay, so, my wife and my sister-in-law wanted to handle it. I sort of just backed away. I was just like, okay. And I get, like I said, I don't know if it all got worked out or not. Supposedly it did. Yeah, but yeah, it's just that, and my mother-in-law and her husband go there all the time. And I guess like I said, I don't know. I don't know if it's because it was Derby Day. I don't know. It was a 6 o'clock at night, but yeah, it was just I don't know. That's whatever. But
Well,
that's
yeah,
it.
and I think for anybody who's worked in restaurants, there's kind of normal service times, and then there's peak service times, right? Where
Yeah.
really you can kind of
Yeah.
get in the weeds as the terminology, and staff can get flustered. And so again, that's where having good systems and training and staff that's looking out for each other. It doesn't even have to always be a supervisor or a host or a maitre d that's
Yeah.
serving. Servers could be
Yeah.
assigned to work as teams, in complementary stations. So if
Mhm.
Ryan all of a sudden's got 3 folks trying to check out at once, and Jeff's caught up, maybe
Yeah.
Jeff can help, close out a table or two, so that again you're leveraging your team, you're looking out for each other, and that's going to come back to culture, and really what are some of the commitments that the team is striving for a guest experience.
Sure.
And so does it always have to be 4-star to be good service, right? And yet
Yeah.
when it does hit peak service, when folks get in the weeds, what are those support tactics that are already identified that can be discussed in huddles, in training, and really, at the end of the day, helping your staff be more successful, which then they make more money, and certainly the guests leave happy.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jeff. Very.
Okay, thank you all. Yep.
I want to give Ed a chance to tell us what he does and who he is. So Ed, if you'll Ed, you're on mute. Ed, you're on mute.
There you go. It's working now.
There we are.
Yeah.
There we.
Okay, we had a lightning bolt that came outside, lost power, lost internet, lost everything here.
You can join Chris then without power.
That's right. That's right. Anyway, thank you, everybody. My name is Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales in Orange Park, Florida, which is just outside of Jacksonville. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we have mixed treat machines, soft serve machines, batch freezers by Carpigiani, display cases for pastry, ice cream gelato by ISA and IFFI and GTI Designs. We have slushy machines and continuous turning ice cream machines. You can reach me at 904-334-4489. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Anyone else have anything else to add? Okay. Well, okay, people are leaving. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming. It's been interesting, a little unusual with our peerless leader having to take off. But Jeff, thank you for your presentation. I thought it was interesting and well done. Let's see, anything else? If not, I'm going to say thank you all for coming. I'll send this video to Howard for hosting in his usual manner. And we'll go on. Listen, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Chris, have you been getting any emails from me?
I got one yesterday, but I can't get to it because I haven't had
Okay.
power since 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon.
Wow.
Okay, so you did get it yesterday then. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, it's about your son who's a chef.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll be following up with him as soon as the power comes back on. And most
Not a
of
problem.
most of Idalia does have power now, but and I paid my bill, so dadgummit, you know, I mean, they it's just it was brutal yesterday. I mean, there was a tornado in parts of the city, and yeah, and right now McDonald's is closed, and
Oh, that's
Dunkin' Donuts
disaster.
is closed, and
Even bigger.
Dang.
so
Can't get
I mean,
See, and you don't have the beach there now. See, I'm afraid if I go down by the shores of the St. Johns River, that everything will be washed up down there. By the way,
Could
just so
be.
everybody knows, the St. Johns River is one of the few rivers in the world that flows from south to north. Because it starts,
okay.
really. There aren't many
it,
that do
it
that.
starts just by Lake Okeechobee and ends up in Jacksonville.
Didn't know.
I think the only other one that does that is the Nile.
The Nile, yes, the Nile goes from north to south.
South to north, south north.
Yeah.
I thought the Mississippi reverses too.
No, that's just inflow. They have a very major tidal change, but Mississippi doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah, it's fortunately I've had a kick-ass flashlight that I used lit up the whole dining room and living room last night. It's fantastic. And but still could not watch television. I could watch television, but there was nothing on. Just sat there and looked at a box. Better days are coming. So,
Mhm.
Isn't that romantic?
the cable went.
yeah. So if this is the worst thing that happens to me, then I've got a charmed existence. So
For sure.
yeah. Anyway,
Okay,
Okay.
have a good day,
Hey,
everybody.
Ed, I'll talk to you later, Ed.
Have a
You
great
take care.
weekend. Take care.
Good guys.
take care.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
Steve, real quick, I'm going down to see the guy on Tuesday, the guy that wants to buy that that business.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a bunch of pictures and get some more details for you.
Okay, that'd be great.
All right?
Where's that business? Where is that
It's in,
business?
it's in Fairburn, Georgia.
Okay.
Fairburn,
Okay, great.
okay?
We'll try. We'll see what we can do.
Okay. Well, you have a great one. And Chris, you have a great one. Hopefully lights come back on. But I will catch up with you.
Okay,
So-
sounds great. Looking forward to it.
All right. I'll take care.
Bye.
Thanks.
See if I can.
You too.